folks. Thanks for joining me today, and welcome back if you are returning. Um, I am using a stone that I made from the molds I received from the Happy Dotting Company. This is mold number 2, and I painted it black by DecoArt. All the colors that I use today are from DecoArt. So I put on the base coat of black, and I did it twice. So I did the first coat was put on with a paintbrush, and I let that dry, and then I finger sponged another coat on top to get rid of all of the brush strokes, because I want to see the brush strokes in what I'm doing now. So I used one of the bigger tools that I have in my dotting tool set that I received from the Dotting Center. The link to both of these wonderful shops are in my description of this video and every video. And I am using banana yellow for the moon. And then I'm using orange, ocean blue for the background. And I'm just continuing to paint in circles, and I don't want it blended. I really want to see the brush strokes because it shows the different swirls of the moon in the background of this really beautiful yellow that I'm using. So I am just continuing to do circles, and they don't have to be perfect. They just sort of flow around the moon. Right now I'm adding a little bit of white to brighten up the moon a bit, and now I'm going to try to bring some of that yellow into the background. And I'm not cleaning my brush in between, so you will see that I've got some blue and some yellow, and now I'm adding a little bit more white just to mute some of that color. But I'm doing it completely in circles, but they're not perfect circles. They're just going around the moon. And this is how I get that really pretty whimsical look of the background. And I really, really like it. This is going to be a fun tutorial. I really had a lot of fun doing it. And I hope you try it, and let me know in the comments if you have tried it and what you like the best about this video. So now I'm just doing the frame or the outline of the rock in Glorious Gold. It is my go-to favorite gold. It's by DecoArt. It's metallic, and I love it. So I use it in almost every rock that I paint because it's got such a really pretty shine to it once it's finished, or sorry, once it's dried, and it looks really good once it's been resined. So I use it in almost every single rock that I do. So let me know if you have a favorite color that you like to use over and over again. I know that we all, as artists, have our go-tos, and that's okay. It seems to be the colors we're most drawn to, the ones that make us happy. And why would you not use something that makes you happy, right? So what I'm doing now is I am putting on some glitter paint. So this is a soft glittering top coat, also by DecoArt. And it's like a varnish almost, or like a top coat that gives it a really glossy kind of look, but it also has sparkles in it. And I really wanted this to resemble like a night sky. So all of these little sparkles are going to look like little stars once everything has been dried and resined. And I am never frugal on putting on glitter paint, especially like this top coat. I put it on rather thick, and the thicker you put it on, the more sparkles you get. So now I'm going to do the branch that the owl is going to sit on, but I'm going to keep with that whimsical kind of feel. So I am putting on the branches, and I'm just sketching it, with my General's charcoal pencil, which goes over top of this glitter paint. It's a little tough to see in some spots, but it does show up and you can see it in real life, like if it's right in front of you. Um, but it works amazingly. So now I'm going to paint the brush on, and I am using it's a I think it's called chocolate. Oh, it's called Bittersweet chocolate, is what I'm using. So it's a rather dark brown, but it's really rich. And that's what I wanted to have on the foreground. The background is bright and it's got some really nice color, but the branches I wanted to be really dark so that it really sort of frames the owl once we put the owl on. So that's why I chose this color. And again, it's another new color that I have. Most of these colors that I'm using today are new colors to me. I did purchase them at Michael's a while ago, and I thought today was the best day to try them out. And I'm really, really happy with how things turned out, and I hope you are too. So I'm just adding the thickness of the branch at the left side because that's where it's going to be attaching itself to the tree. And I am doing all of these little branches in sort of like swirls or to make it whimsical, like to add these little swirls. I will also be adding little flowers and little leaves to all of this, which will be near the end of the video. But I really wanted it kind of reminds me of, do you know that painting Starry Night? That's what this reminds me of. And I think it's my favorite painting of all time. And I think that's why I really like this, because it reminds me a lot of that. And then I just put an owl in front of it. So instead of putting like whimsical castles and stuff. So yeah, this is my, we'll call it my rendition of A Starry Night, but it is going to include an owl. We will get to the owl very, very shortly. He was also a lot of fun to paint. And I just want to remind you that if I forget to mention what color I am using or what brand it is, I want you to know that everything will be listed in the description. So if I do fail to mention what it is that I'm using, you will find it there for sure. I do that for every single video to ensure that if I forget to say something, it will be there. So you will be able to find it there. So now I am putting on the eyes of the owl so that I can get an idea as to where I want this little guy to sit on the branch. And I used my dotting tools from the dotting center, and the color I used was ocean blue. So I'm using ocean blue in its true color, so it's not being blended or mixed in with any of the others like I did in the background. And now I am using ocean blue with a tiny bit of that chocolate or the bittersweet chocolate put in together to give me this darker blue. So it's just another way to show you that you don't need an awful lot of paint to be able to get the colors that you want. You can just simply mix them yourself and you get exactly what you want. And sometimes it's surprising on what you end up getting. It may not be a color that you were aiming for or that it was your idea of having as a finished product, but you may get something that is even better. So I encourage you to do that, to do paint mixing. So now I'm just adding in his head. So that's his crown, I guess. And then I've got to add his little feathery ears. And I'll do that right now. And now he really looks like an owl. Just by adding that one little piece, he really looks like an owl now. And then this is black that I'm using, and we're going to do some feathers on his belly in different colors of the blue, and we're going to be mixing. So some of the colors are going to be mixed with white so that we have a little bit of a lighter blue. And we're going to do some others with the chocolate brown, just to give different colors and different shades in his chest plate there, or his belly. But before we get to that, we got to put on his beak. So I'm just using the same yellow that I used for the moon, but in its true form. So there's no blending or anything like that. And now I'm putting on the base of his chest feathers. So I'm just dabbing my brush flat so that I get these long little feathers throughout on his chest. And this will be the base. And then I start going in with some lighter colors. So that's the best way to do it. You start with your darkest color first, and then you slowly work out into your lightest color. And you can see really well here on how I'm doing this with my paintbrush. I'm just laying it down. And that was the ocean blue in its pure form. And then I mixed a little bit of white and added a little bit of that. And now I'm coming in with just white to give all sorts of little highlights and lowlights of his feathers. And then I come back in again with some more of the blue just to add some depth to it. And that's it. It's very simple, very easy to do. And now I'm using my fine lining brush, and I'm just adding a little bit of the chocolate brown mixed with white. And I'm just doing like really quick flicks of it so that it looks like little feathers. So his eyes need to dry before I can put his pupils on there. And so while that is drying, I'm going to put on the leaves on these branches. And the color that I'm using is foliage green. And I mixed it in with a little bit of white. So, but I didn't mix it completely. So this is kind of like the one stroke painting where you dab one side of your paint with the one color and then the other side of your paintbrush into the other color. And when you paint it, it does the shading and the light sources automatically. Now, I know you can't really see it very well, but that is what I did. And there is some really nice color variations in these leaves. So I want to also point out the eyes are taking a long time to dry because of two reasons. One is because it's on there really thick, and two, it's actually really cold here today. So I find that when it's cold, the paint takes longer to dry. It needs that heat to be able to evaporate the water that is in the acrylic paint and just leaves the paint afterwards, and that's how it dries. So it is taking a long time for his eyes to dry, but I have lots of other details that I want to do while I'm waiting for that. So now I am putting on these cute little pink flowers. I'm using Carousel pink. And again, same technique as the leaves, where I dipped it into the pink and then dipped it into the white so that I get the different variations. And then I'm coming in with a little bit lighter color. So I've mixed the white, and I'm just coming in and going on top and in between just to fill in those flowers. And it just gives it that really cute look of the dark petals are in behind and the light petals are on the front. And it's just, it looks so darling. Can I say that? But yes, it's very, very cute. And I just love this rock. And it turned out amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments. I was so happy with how this turned out. And the easiest way for you to let me know that you're happy with how it turned out is by giving me the thumbs up. It's really quick and easy. If you're new here and you like it, definitely subscribe. And you can always ring that little notification bell, and it will send you a notification when I've posted something new. I'm doing the art show this weekend, so I plan on giving you guys a tour of my setup and all of the other rocks and paintings that I do outside of what I post here. And that would also give you an opportunity to see some of my other, my other rocks that I paint. And if there's something that you see and you want to see a tutorial on it, then you can let me know. But that will be coming in the next day or two. I'm hoping I'm doing my setup on Friday. So I am hoping to have a video for you on Friday so that you can see what it looks like already set up and ready to go. So stay tuned for that. So now I'm just doing some outlining on this little owl, making sure that parts of it stick out the way that it should and other parts are blended in. And then boom, all of a sudden I've done some extra details and yeah. But there you have it, folks. It's all finished. So life is what you make it. So get creative.